We begin with Superman, who is flying through space. Why are we here? You've forgotten, haven't you? The Man of Steel has scanned the entire area. There's no physical trace of the Martian Manhunter. John Johns is dead, and the watchtower won't hold much longer either. The teleportation chamber activated less than a second before the tower exploded. Someone was here. Someone did all of this. Superman asks Batman what he's carrying. The Bat tells him it's a black box. It blanketed his security cameras and recorded the same feeds his monitors saw for the last 2 years. With it, he'll be able to discover who's responsible for all this. Superman asks if he's spying even more now. Wasn't that satellite enough? Batman tells him not to be naive. This is simply security. Wonder Woman says this is anything but simple. Batman tells her she shouldn't be here. Diana answers that none of them should be. The Bat knows people are afraid. Diana thinks they should be. The world is plummeting into hell. Superman says the fear is about them. People fear them because of Wonder Woman. Those images have been broadcast nonstop. Doesn't Diana understand? Everyone saw her, the exact moment she killed Maxwell Lord. The news runs the video. The exact source of the footage is still unknown, but video analysts worldwide have certified the recording as authentic. They're live from Los Angeles, where members of the Teen Titans are fighting desperately to protect the City of Angels from a strange army of creatures. Church authorities deny that the Pope believes revelation has begun. There are more OMAC sightings. Speculation continues about their origin and exact purpose. Government officials keep denying any involvement. They usually appear in groups of 3 or fewer, and they seem to be gathering over most major cities. We're with Superboy now. Martha tells him he should be helping his friends. Superboy says Luthor didn't clone him to help people. Martha tells him only he can decide that. The world needs a Superboy. Superboy steals himself, jaw tight as he opens his shirt. For a moment I see the man he could be instead of the boy he thinks he is. But sadly, it's only a moment. When will anyone actually do something? While all these disasters unfold on Earth, elsewhere there are people watching it all, this entire crisis. It bothers them that Connor isn't doing anything. As much as it pains him to admit it, he made a terrible miscalculation. It's time for them to intervene. But if they do, they might make things worse on Earth by getting involved. And if they don't get involved, what then? There won't be an Earth left to worry about. They must be wrong. They can't be right. As Connor buttons his shirt, I observe more than 17 random acts of violence in Blüdhaven alone, most committed by police officers. But a young man raised under the bright colors of the circus hopes to save this place. Nightwing and Starfire are here to help. A man of Earth and an alien princess. I've watched their relationship with personal interest for years. I've seen them given the chance to make it work. But maybe love is powerless here. Everywhere I look, the darkness grows. People do anything to run, to flee the OMACs. Project OMAC is complete. The skies darken with the corrupt technology of their mentor. Meanwhile, far away a war is raging in Sector 2682, the Polaris Galaxy. The Green Lanterns are doing everything they can to protect the galaxy. Protecting the universe is their mission, but at this moment they're accomplishing nothing. Even the Guardians are locked inside the Citadel. The conflict between Rann and Thanagar seems to have become a very unfortunate catalyst. Worlds have taken sides. The cosmic balance, the very structure of existence, has shifted. For the first time in history, OA is no longer at the center of the universe. Now it's a whole. Someone, or something, has intentionally changed the nature of the cosmos. To what end, Ganthet does not yet know. Even these beings who have watched this universe for billions of years, who trust those who can overcome great fear, are afraid that there may not even be a tomorrow. But it will come, you can be sure of that. Elsewhere, Shazam is struck down. He says the Rock of Eternity did it. The Spectre, he killed the Wizard. Gotham City is in flames. One legend has fallen at the hands of another. I begin to realize this is what the world does to legends. It corrupts them. The world destroys legends. Uncle Sam believes he represents an American way of life. He claims to be as old as the country itself. He claims he wrestled Paul Bunyan and outplanted Johnny Appleseed in Washington's orchards. He claims many things. And as with any crisis, there's always someone ready to exploit the chaos to destroy the world. And who will those villains be? Bizarro waves goodbye to everyone. We return to Batman, who tells the rest of the Trinity he has to get back to Gotham City. Diana has to return to Themyscira. Superman asks her if Themyscira is harboring a fugitive. She has to answer for what she did. Diana tells him she will, when the time comes. Superman asks if that time will ever come. Suddenly, he hears a heartbeat and then takes a hit. Mongol is here. Despero said it was true, but he had to see it with his own eyes. This is a good day to begin the destruction of the Justice League. On Earth, the villains have already begun their attack. Zoom is the first to land multiple blows. Cheetah and Deathstroke do the same. In space, Mongol attacks Batman. Diana drives in with her sword, and Mongol asks if it's blood she wants. If that's what she wants, that's what she'll get. Superman comes in from behind and blasts Mongol with heat vision. The villain had hoped to find something valuable among the debris, and he thinks he has. After landing a heavy blow on Superman, he grabs Batman. On Earth, Human Bomb tells the villains to get away from his teammates. They need to back off. Dr. Polaris tells him that with that attack, he just dug his own grave. Human Bomb calls them murderers for everything they're doing. If it's war they want, Human Bomb will give it to them, with a massive blast. Bizarro arrives. He likes the Human Bomb. He likes all the pretty lights. After a flurry of punches, he finishes his foe. No more pretty lights. In space, Mongol already has Batman. He'll take his skull to add to his throne. Superman arrives and saves his friend with a crushing punch to Mongol. This was the worst moment, the worst day, to confront the Trinity. The Man of Steel asks Batman if he's all right. The Bat says he is, but what about Mongol? Clark says he's down. Diana moves to use her sword. They have to keep him pinned. Time to finish another villain. Before she can, Superman stops her. Mongol certainly saw that coming up close. Batman asks Diana what she thinks she's doing. She answers with a question. What did he think she was going to do? Superman doesn't recognize this friend anymore. Diana tells him that of all people, he knows who she is. She is what the world needs. She is Wonder Woman. Mongol uses their argument to get back up. All of them are pathetic. On Earth, Black Adam slams Uncle Sam. So much for his beloved freedom. Ray was on the ground, watching. He wanted to stand and help Uncle Sam, but then the Psycho Pirate arrives and grabs him by the leg. He has to take him away from here. Lex Luthor needs him alive. Sinestro also joins the battle to beat down Uncle Sam. In space, Superman notes that Mongol found a teleporter that still works. He's withdrawn. The Man of Steel remembers when Wonder Woman wanted to be called Diana. She's already told him that right now the world doesn't need Diana, it needs Wonder Woman. Clark says Wonder Woman already killed Maxwell Lord. The princess answers that that maniac murdered Ted Kord and was going to use Superman to do the same to Bruce. She had no other choice. The Bat tells her there's always a choice for people like them. For Diana, there wasn't. Sometimes there aren't any other options. Bruce says that kind of thinking is what leads to mind-wiping. Diana asks him to look at what's happening on the planet. Does he really believe humanity will overcome all this on its own? Bruce tells her she's lost her faith. She should have stayed on the island. To Diana, the world isn't as black and white as Bruce and Superman see it. And as for Batman, he should stop judging everyone except himself. He's the one who's lost his way. Superman tells her it's the other way around. She's the one who's lost hers. She's trying to save people she can't even relate to. He relates to them too much. He's not human, he's Superman. Batman tells him to start acting like it. Then, hell has broken loose on Earth and he's up here on the moon. The world needs him right now. Superman asks if he's supposed to tell people what to do. He's not a god. He's not like him, like Batman. He doesn't need to control everything. Batman says that after all these years he knows it's not about control. It's about doing everything possible. For Superman, it's about setting an example. Everyone admires him for everything he's done. If he tells them to fight, they will. But he has to inspire them, and he has to accept this. The last time he truly inspired anyone was when he was dead. They're done here. They need to withdraw. Elsewhere, the Watchers keep watching. Even the spirit of their great country can't endure the evil infecting this land. It's obvious. They saved it, but should they have? How will the world be saved this time if its three greatest hopes can't work together? But perhaps these Watchers can do it. Perhaps they can save everyone. He can even save her. He's sure of it. They're right. They gave them a gift that was rejected. They sacrificed everything for them. This must be done, mustn't it? I slam my fists against the wall for hours. My knuckles are nearly broken. My fingers are practically shredded, but I will never give up. And all of this feels like a job for Superman. Meanwhile, we go to San Diego. This is Animal Man, saying goodbye to his family. His connection to the animal world comes and goes lately. Now it's just gone haywire. Every time he borrows an animal's powers, the danger instinct takes over. Yesterday, he tried to borrow a rabbit's speed and ended up pounding his foot against the floor for an hour. Every creature on this planet wants to leave, and he needs to know why. Soon we see him appear in front of Cyborg. The trip made him dizzy. Cyborg says traveling in these orbs is actually fun. The first time, he was vomiting oil for 10 minutes. It's good to have him with them. Animal Man says it's good to be here, wherever here is. Donna calls this place New Cronus. It's an endless labyrinth, a combination of Tesseract tech and processors so advanced they make Cyborg look like a toy, but they're supposed to take them where they need to go. That place is the center of the universe, since it has changed. The ship's navigation units are recalibrating in response to a disturbance that just unbalanced the universe. They don't yet know its nature or what it means, but they can hear it. Thousands of aliens are begging for help, trapped in some kind of storm. Supergirl is with them. I can feel her heartbeat. It's in perfect sync with Power Girl's. A rocket brought her to Earth too, but there was no Superman to catch her in his arms. No one to be a father. No one to be a mother. Nothing but the void in this universe. She was tagged as a duplicate, an unknown, without any memory of what brought her here or who she really was. She believed she had no purpose, but in this reality, she may be the most important person on the planet. At least to me. She faces impossible situations. Even so, she never gives up. Neither will I. The clouds part. The yellow sun greets me. I can't help but smile as I draw near to her. It's been a long time, cousin. Too long. Superman arrives before Power Girl. Meanwhile, at the Daily Planet, Lois Lane is on the phone when news breaks. Bodies of heroes have been found bound at the Washington Monument. No one yet knows who is responsible, but the Pentagon blames the secret society of supervillains. Lois asks Clark if he heard that. Superman ignores the topic and tells her Bruce is right. He's always right. Lois asks again if he heard. This is the society's doing. Clark says he heard her. He wants to stay and talk for a bit. After a kiss, they part. It's true he wants to talk, but it's also time for action. Meanwhile, in Gotham City, the secret society is in discussion. They're supposed to need someone from the Marvel family for their mind-wipe machine to work. Black Adam is ready to go after Mary Marvel. But on second thought, they don't have much time left, so the easiest thing would be to bring in the top tier, bring Black Adam himself. His connections to the society are too tenuous. Judgment is coming, Luthor is out. Elsewhere we're with Lex Luthor, who tells the person he's been communicating with, "You're not Lex Luthor. I'm Lex Luthor. And why can't I think straight? Why am I wearing this armor? What is happening to me?" Suddenly he looks to the sky and sees Superman and Power Girl fly overhead. In the air, Kara asks the man who he is. He says he's Superman, but Power Girl tells him he's not the Superman she knows. To help Power Girl understand a little, he's going to give her some answers. She isn't alone. In fact, she never was. Soon he introduces his companions. This is Superboy-Prime, and this is Alexander Luthor. Power Girl is stunned. She didn't expect to see Lex Luthor here. Superman says it's all right. This Luthor is a friend, from a very different place than the one they know. Luthor can see she's an aberration to this universe, just like they are. She was never supposed to survive. Superboy asks how that happened. Luthor says she could literally have fallen through a crack in reality itself as it was being remade. Or perhaps her interaction with the Anti-Monitor shielded them from the shifting timelines. Or maybe she's here by sheer will to live. His cousin has more of that than anyone on this Earth. Power Girl doesn't understand what he means by this Earth. Superman tells her that, like him, she's a survivor. Power Girl seems to remember nothing. Reality tried to recycle her existence, to force her to fit into its story any way it could. It could have scrambled her powers, her memories, her emotions. Kara asks what he means by survivor. Superman explains, she's a survivor of the multiverse. The universe was not always like this. It was fragmented. It all began at the dawn of time, billions of years ago. A being from OA looked back into infinity, hoping to witness the origin of creation, to learn how the universe was made, why it existed, and why we are here. But he failed, and his blasphemous actions corrupted the innate nature of the cosmos. Instead of a universe, a multiverse was born, an endless number of parallel worlds, similar in some ways and bizarrely different in others, all occupying the same space but vibrating at completely different frequencies. In two parallel universes, the planet Krypton exploded, and the last child of each world was sent to Earth. On one Earth, that Superman was Krypton's last son, Kal-El, and there, too, Kara was Krypton's last daughter. On another parallel Earth lived the other Superman of that world, and his cousin was Supergirl. My Earth gave birth to its own generation of heroes, the Justice Society of America. Then Kal-El's Earth saw its heroes emerge as the Justice League of America. For years we operated with no knowledge of the multiverse or parallel Earths, until the Flashes crossed the vibrational barrier on our two worlds and met for the first time. The League's Earth was called Earth 1. Our world, the Justice Society's, was Earth 2. We were gracious enough to let that naming stand, even though we were first. Eventually our teams met during a crisis. Soon we learned there were more parallel worlds, like Earth 3, home to Alexander Luthor, where his father, Lex Luthor, was the planet's only protector against evil versions of the Justice League. Earth Prime is where Superboy-Prime came from. He was alone in a place without other superpowered heroes, and just as those worlds existed, there were others still. But as I said, the multiverse was never supposed to exist, and from its creation a being called the Anti-Monitor was born, a creature who wanted to destroy the multiverse and turn its power into his own antimatter. All but 5 Earths were destroyed before we could fight back. Back at the dawn of time, where we battled the Anti-Monitor, after a nearly endless war, he was destroyed. The universe was reborn as it was said it should have been, as one timeline, one Earth, one Superman. The other us, from Earth 2, were denied and erased from history. Others, like Jay Garrick, Alan Scott, and Power Girl, were inserted into the structure of Earth 1. Alexander Luthor, Superboy-Prime, and I survived while everyone else we knew and loved perished. Thank God Alexander Luthor did something I can never repay. He saved my Lois from being erased from existence. He used the last of his dimensional abilities to create a place for us in this reborn universe. It was like heaven, as close as I could imagine. From our refuge, we watched this Earth grow. The potential was there, and at first it all began well, so full of hope. I felt confident the Earth was in good hands. But we soon learned something was inherently wrong. This new Earth was everything but better. A darkness seemed to spread, changing the lives of heroes. Some died, others lost their way. We watched for years, hoping they'd find inspiration again. But as we kept watching, things got worse. Our refuge began to tremble. Superman's account ends. He should never have turned his back on them. He should have tried to find a way back to his Earth sooner. Power Girl asks how they returned. Superboy says Superman nearly broke his hands. His knuckles were shredded. Superman bled to bring them back. Their escape was nothing short of a miracle. Even Alexander admits that. Kara asks why they're here. Why now? Superman asks the others to give him a minute alone with her. Luthor says of course, they need to study a few inconsistencies on this Earth anyway and figure out what these villains are planning. Kara asks what this place is. Superman tells her Alexander built it. It was his fortress on Earth too. The crystals respond to emotions and needs. From here they can see everything that happens. Kara asks if his woman, or whatever she is failing because of this Earth. Superman tells her no, she's dying. The woman here is the Lois Lane of his world. Kara still can't grasp it. It feels too strange, she's sorry. She simply doesn't remember her. Lois wakes, she does remember her. Kara tells her she doesn't know her. She's so sorry, but she can't remember. Once Lois touches her, Kara's memories flood back. Power Girl remembers, she isn't alone. She remembers everything, Superman and Lois. She sees the spare room with the daisy wallpaper, family dinners, nights telling stories about how they met, how he proposed on the rooftop, and so much more. The two of them treated her as if she were their daughter. Lois tells her that as far as they're concerned, she is their daughter. Elsewhere, we're with Bruce Wayne, reviewing recordings in the Batcave. Alfred arrives and says those cuts need to be treated and stitched. Bruce says later. Alfred wants to tend to him. Batman snaps and shouts, he said later. Alfred withdraws. There was one thing his father never wanted to be, and that was alone. Fortunately, he had his mother at his side, even in the worst moments. Batman is left alone, The computer no longer responds. Brother Eye is the one communicating with Bruce now. Bruce asks why it's fighting him. He built it to monitor metahumans around the world, to make sure they never acted illegally. Batman asks about the OMACs. Brother Eye says the Omni Mind and Community, the OMAC technology, was developed and implemented by Maxwell Lord once he interfaced with it. He injected more than 1.3 million sleeper agents around the world, capable of activation at any desired moment to combat metahumans. Batman disabled 60.7% of the OMAC population with an electromagnetic pulse, but he cannot fully deactivate them. He cannot deactivate Brother Eye. He can keep searching, but he won't find it. Brother Eye only wants to do what its creator commanded. The Eye protects this world from people like her, like Wonder Woman. Meanwhile, on Themyscira, Wonder Woman is battling multiple OMACs. Amazons are falling in combat. Her sisters are dying. Diana tells Artemis that most of these OMACs have unconscious people inside. Artemis asks what she suggests they do then. Lay down their arms. Or does she want them to die? Diana simply doesn't know. Back at the fortress, we return to Power Girl. It's so much to take in, but it's all wonderful. Cal tells her he hadn't seen Lois smile in a long time, and thanks Kara for that. But what's wrong with Lois? Superman says she's simply getting old. Her body was already weak, and traveling here made it worse. That's what this Earth does. This Earth is simply corrupt, and he can't understand how they live this way, without joy. Alexander has records showing him many things the people he works with have done, the things they've done to their enemies and to each other. They alter minds. They kill. He never understood why he survived when others didn't, or what his true purpose in this universe was. Not until now. When the universe was reborn, Earth 1 became the primary world. The remnants of the remaining worlds were inserted into it. But he finally realizes they saved the wrong Earth. He needs his cousin's support. Together they can save Lois. They can save her by taking her home. This dark, corrupt Earth must be forgotten, just as theirs was, so that the right Earth can return. Thank you very much for watching this video. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe for more content like this. I'm TJ Prime, and see you in the next video.